Is something holding you back or threatening to keep you from experiencing the thrill of the open road on a motorcycle? If so, I get it. I have been there. I used to ride on two wheels. There is nothing like the freedom of the open road, the wind in my face, seeing that sky above me, the road going past me at my feet, and just the feeling of that roaring engine. Riding has been a big part of my life for years. I love the motorcycle lifestyle, but something happened that nearly made me hang up my helmet for good. I never thought I'd ride again, on two wheels or maybe not at all. Stay tuned. I'm about to share how I went from giving it all up to discovering a new beginning, finding three wheels and a renewed love for riding. I hope you find encouragement to continue doing what you love, especially if it's riding a motorcycle. On my other channel, I had viewers ask about my ride experience and why I no longer ride two wheels. Well, let's go back to the beginning, where my motorcycle journey began. In 1986, when I was about 20 years old, my mom asked if I wanted to take a motorcycle safety course with her. I said, sure, why not? So that is what I did, and that is what started my motorcycle journey. Mom and Dad owned a couple motorcycles. These are the motorcycles that I first rode. They were great, and we would go out riding together. Now, I look back on that experience and cringe a little. My carefree days, of course, fearless, and I never wore a helmet. And don't even get me started about the fact that right out of the gate, I was riding a passenger. As when we would all go for a ride, someone would be on the back, and then we would just swap out and take turns for whoever wanted to drive at the time.
I don't think that was a very good idea.
But that's what we did. Fast forward a few years to the 1990s. I met my husband, and many of our dates were focused on motorcycle events and motorcycle rides. So up to this point, I rode motorcycles that belonged to other people, or I rode with my husband. But in 1997, I got my first motorcycle. It was a red Sportster. I loved the freedom and that power of that ride. But my son was born in 97, and as he got older, the ride was tempered a little, because every time I left, I would see his little face and hands against the glass door as we pulled away. It tore at this mother's heartstrings. So I wisely placed a higher priority on my young family and did not get out and ride much. I figured someday there would be time to ride when the kids were a little older. In 2007, the kids got a little older, and I thought it was time to get another motorcycle. I bought a beautiful white pearl gold Softail. It felt great to be out riding again. Then something happened. We were riding through the beautiful Hocking Hills of southern Ohio. My son was on the motorcycle with his dad. I rounded a curve and remembered thinking, I don't know what put it in my head, but I thought, if a car is in my lane when I turn this corner that I can't see, or worse, if I go over into their lane, what am I going to do? I panicked, and I thought I needed to stop. I went to the side of the road, which of course had gravel. I hit the front brake and dumped that motorcycle. I wasn't hurt. The motorcycle really wasn't hurt, but all the what ifs went through my mind at that moment. My husband helped me pick the motorcycle back up and told me to get back up on her and go. If I didn't do it, I would never do it again. I did get back on her that day and some other days after that, but something happened. That incident made me lose confidence in my riding ability. What I should have done was take a look at what was causing my hesitation and work on fixing that. Get out and practice and just ride more. Take more riding classes, or at the very least, go through the safety course again.
But I didn't.
Instead, I sold my motorcycle. In 2013, the thing that finally ruined motorcycle riding for me was a bus pulling out in front of my husband. He ended up rolling on the pavement and breaking 9 bones, but he lived and eventually healed. But with that, I was done with motorcycles. I wouldn't even consider being a passenger at that point. Then 2017 came, and with it, we found an answer: a 3-wheel motorcycle. We purchased a beautiful blue Tri-Glide. And so for the next few months, my husband rode her, and I was content to be a passenger. A trip to Washington, D.C. that year, the weekend of Memorial Day, to Rolling Thunder event, and I was fully convinced we did the right thing, getting back out in the wind. I started seeing more and more women on motorcycles, 2 wheels and 3. I remember thinking, why couldn't I do that? So I told my husband I was ready to take the trike over as my own, and then he could go get another motorcycle if he wanted. He didn't hesitate at all, and immediately, before I changed my mind, he was out buying another motorcycle. The 3 wheels was the answer. The freedom was just as enjoyable on 3 wheels as it was on 2, only now I felt safer and more stable, knowing that it would be harder to dump. My blue girl and I had some great rides for the next few years, including a trip from South Carolina to Topeka, Kansas, and another trip in 2020, 6,600 miles around the country. What a phenomenal trip that was. I enjoyed every second on her. In 2021, after putting 25,000 miles on my blue girl, I found the 3-wheel motorcycle of my dreams. This beautiful sunset orange and black CVO Tri-Glide. Great motorcycle. I enjoyed every 8,000 miles on her as well. The first long trip with my daughter. Then in 2023, my husband went for a ride and came home with a Road Glide 3. Now, I love the sporty lines of the freewheel models, but I always wanted a fairing or something on the front. I loved the convenience of that. So when Harley put the shark nose fairing on that freewheel model and came up with the Road Glide 3, I traded my red CVO Tri-Glide in on a beautiful billiard blue Road Glide 3. And that is what I ride to this day. Over the next few months, I will be updating and posting videos here on this channel of my first 2 years with that Road Glide 3, including rides and trips I took with her, the storage space, how I packed for trips on her, how I made her my own with the parts and accessories, and so much more about this motorcycle. Yes, they will be videos that were posted over on my other channel, but I'm going to bring them over and revamp them a little and share them here. Will I ever get back out on 2 wheels? I'm not sure. I tried riding my husband's Indian once, but it was quite heavy for me and the anxiety came flooding back. I love and miss the feel of riding 2 wheels, but the confidence and stability I have on 3 wheels, especially as I get older, is something I do not think I could sacrifice or give up. There is also a peace of mind knowing that if I am out by myself on any one of my adventures, I don't have to worry about trying to pick it up if I drop it. How sad it is to think that I almost missed out on the freedom of the open road and all the adventures that only comes while on a motorcycle. So how about you? Is there something in your life that's keeping you or threatening to keep you from experiencing the thrills of the open road? I would love to hear about it. Leave that down in the comment section below. I do check those comments and try to respond to them. Well, until next time, everybody, God bless and safe riding out there. If you would like more information about this channel, I created a video explaining what you can expect with 3-wheel lifestyle, and I will leave it linked here.